Coming up in this vlog series, I'm on board Princess Cruises Majestic Princess for a 10-day cruise, which will take me around the Greek islands and the Mediterranean. So come with me as I visit 4 countries and 7 ports of call, where I'll show you the sights and the sounds and give you tips on the best way to spend your cruise. In this first episode, it's boarding day in Piraeus, Athens. It's cruise day, and you're joining me here at the Stateroom Portus Lifestyle Hotel in Piraeus, which is the port just outside of Athens. I'm due to board the Majestic Princess today, and I flew in late last night. As I've been to Athens before, so didn't have a need to stay in the city to experience it again, I chose the convenience and the cost effectiveness of staying here in this hotel, which is a short taxi ride from the cruise terminal. It's a fairly new build and it's graded as a 4-star hotel, although honestly I would suggest it's probably a good 3-star. Now, with breakfast included, it came in at a cost of €140 for one night, and that included taxes. This represented much better value than similar hotels in the heart of Athens. So before heading off to the cruise terminal, I took the opportunity to wander around the immediate area, where I found that the metro station was in close proximity, and I also found that there was an eclectic mix of shops and cafes, so a good place where there's plenty of opportunity to pick up some last-minute toiletries or snacks if you want to do that before heading on board the ship. In terms of travelling from the airport, I had arranged a private taxi transfer last night. That cost €70. Now, the normal daytime flat rate for a trip from the airport to Piraeus is actually €60, and there's an additional surcharge for out of hours, so that is between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. I believe. So heading from the hotel to the cruise terminal today, there were plenty of taxis available in the local area. So the hotel front desk called a taxi, it arrived within minutes, and the journey time took about 15 minutes. That was a cost of €15. It is possible to walk to the cruise terminal, but that would take about 45 minutes, so definitely not something that I was considering in 32-degree sunshine and with luggage. Piraeus is an extremely busy port. It accommodates a multitude of vessels on a daily basis, including what seems like hundreds of inter-island ferries, as well as cargo ships and, of course, cruise ships. Now, today there were 5 cruise ships in port. So, as you can see from this taxi ride, the cruise port covers an extensive area, so you really do need to be certain which cruise terminal you're actually heading for. In my case, the Majestic Princess was docked at the furthest terminal, so that's Terminal B. A couple of days before the cruise, I received notification from Princess Cruises that all guests were being asked to delay their arrival at the port, as there was going to be expected delays for passengers disembarking from the previous cruise. This was apparently due to the fact that its last port of call was in Turkey, and on arrival in Greece it would effectively be entering the Schengen travel area, meaning that there were expected to be delays for disembarking passengers as they went through passport control. However, by the time I arrived at the terminal at around 12:30, all guests from the previous sailing appeared to have entirely cleared the area, and I have to say the check-in and embarkation process was a joy. It was absolutely the quickest and smoothest that I have ever experienced. So after dropping my luggage with the luggage porters, it was straight through to the check-in area. That's accommodated in this temporary tent type structure. Now, despite being a platinum loyalty member on Princess Cruises, which would give me privileges for early embarkation, there was actually no need to avail of those, because it was a case of going immediately straight through to the counter. At that point, the staff there quickly scanned my passport. I had completed all of the check-in process online in advance, and I was then immediately provided with my medallion. So for anybody new to cruising, the medallion is in place of a cruise card, so that's the equivalent of essentially what will be your hotel room key card, and it's also what you will use to place any orders and make purchases on board. And it was a case of immediately proceeding straight through to the building where security is, where the normal scanning process happens. The large seating area that's normally kept for waiting guests was completely redundant because there was no wait time and there were no waiting guests. Now, moving through the check-in area, I headed straight towards the ship for embarkation. As the staterooms weren't ready until after 2 p.m, I first headed towards the piazza. Now, for anybody new to Princess, this is an absolutely beautiful social space which is at the heart of the Princess Royal class ships. Given that this particular sailing had been showing up on Princess's website as being sold out for the past couple of weeks, I have to say I was completely shocked at how empty it seemed. There were so few guests on board at that stage, and it was lovely to see it in that uncrowded state. I can call you Betty, when you call me, you can call me, yeah. Now, the empty nature or the uncrowded nature of it seemed to continue as I headed for lunch, and for that I went to Alfredo's Pizzeria. Now, as frequent cruisers know, or a tip for new cruisers, it's usually best to avoid the chaos of the buffet on boarding day. So for me, I found the perfect alternative was using one of the casual dining options. Now, as part of my cruise, I have the Princess Plus package, and that includes, at the time of my sailing, 2 casual dining meals. As I enjoyed my window seat watching all the vessels moving in and out of the port, I have to say the food actually tasted better than it looked. After lunch, it was time to head off to check out my stateroom. So it's on Emerald Deck, which is on deck 8 of the, and it is E108. You can check out the full stateroom tour in a separate vlog on this channel, but for now I'll just give you a quick tour around. So one of the usual features on this class of ship is the open walk-in wardrobe area. Alongside that, there's plenty of hanging space, and there's also shelving and a safe. The bathroom is clean and functional, although it's pretty basic and quite outdated in its decor, and made all the worse by that dreadful clingy curtain. Moving into the main area of this deluxe balcony stateroom, and the welcoming sight of that always luxurious princess bed. Over by the door, there's a comfortable 2-seater love seat, and this extra seating area and space makes the difference between the deluxe stateroom and the standard smaller staterooms, which don't actually have that seating area. Moving out onto the balcony, this is classified as an obstructed balcony. Now, I was aware of this when making my reservation. I specifically chose this particular cabin because of its classification as obstructed, meaning that it was cheaper than a standard deluxe balcony. I was aware that it had the benefit of a much larger balcony. The seating area actually included footstools and a much larger, higher table, and clearly much more space to recline the chairs. The disadvantage is that the outer part of the balcony is overlooked from the staterooms above, but towards the back of the balcony, closer to the door, the same degree of privacy as on any other balcony exists. Having a walk around the top deck later, it was a great opportunity to check out all of the seafaring traffic in this very busy port. It really is fascinating to watch all the comings and goings. And in the distance, it was evident that activity was beginning to wind down at the cruise terminal as we began to approach sail-away time. The sail-away celebration was led by the Princess Cruises singers and dancers and the entertainment team.
Hello from the bridge, my name is Giuseppe Castellano, and I'm honored to be your captain on the Majestic Princess. Did you know that our magnificent ship is longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall, and our wheel is similar to the height of the Statue of Liberty? But most importantly, we have over 1,350 crew members of more than 50 different nationalities on board, and they are all here to make sure you have a dream vacation.
So while enjoying the departure from Piraeus, here's a few quick facts about the Majestic Princess. The ship was built in 2017. It's the third of 6 Royal Class ships in the Princess Cruises fleet, and at approximately 144,000 gross tons, it's considered to be a mid-size ship. It has a capacity of up to 3,560 guests and also accommodates over 1,300 crew. There are 1,780 cabins on board, and they range from inside cabins through to balcony staterooms, as well as mini suites and full-size suites. The ship was originally built to cater for the Asian market, since been deployed to serve the Caribbean and the European markets. Now, as a result of its origins, there are still some slightly unusual features on board. So in many places, it's quite surprising to come across Chinese signage, for example. Now, earlier this year, in April, in 2025, the Majestic Princess underwent a 2-week dry dock before the start of its European summer season. In addition to cosmetic upgrades such as new carpets and soft furnishings, there was also much more significant alterations made in order to remove some of the Asian-inspired facilities and to replace them with restaurants and bars which are typically found on the other Royal Class ships. Now, that included the development of O'Malley's Irish pub and also Sabatini's Italian trattoria. As well as that, the fast food offering on the pool deck has now become the Salty Dog Cafe and Alfredo's Pizzeria Slice, and other additions include the introduction of a sushi bar and also Bellini's cocktail bar. My overall first impressions of the ship today is that it's in excellent condition and looking really well after its refurbishment. For dinner, I headed to one of those newly created dining spaces on board, to Sabatini's Trattoria. Now, this restaurant footage was taken earlier in the day, hence the reason there are no customers there. As always, the menu in this Italian restaurant is extensive and the food was enjoyable. Although I have to say, the service was noticeably slow, given that the restaurant wasn't particularly busy and there seemed to be a shortage of wait staff. This is a specialty restaurant, and that means that it's not included in the standard cruise fare. There is an upcharge. Dinner cost $55 and in addition there was an 18% gratuity added to that. Now, similar to my preference to avoid the buffet on boarding day, I also find that it's better to avoid the main dining room on the first night of a cruise, as it tends to be a little bit chaotic. So that's the reason I had made my reservation online in advance for Sabatini's. Despite the slow service in the restaurant, I made it to the theatre in time for the late evening show, which was at 9:30. That was a guest act. It was a magician illusionist. His name was Jamie Raven, and he was apparently a runner-up on the Britain's Got talent show a few years ago.
The glass becomes the bottle becomes the glass. But now for the hard part, the really hard part. Getting them to switch back again. Well, fear not, my friends, a miracle you will see. I will not let you down. Raise your right hand. Snap your fingers twice. Incredibly, they will return to where they once came. There is the bottle, there is the glass. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you.
Now, there was also plenty of other entertainment going on around the ship, including guests singing their hearts out at karaoke in Princess Live, as well as the ever-popular entertainers in O'Malley's Irish pub.
I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, it's gone. All the love and it's gone. It's gone. All the love and it's gone.
After a busy boarding day, it's time to head for that oh so inviting princess bed. Now, I'll leave you with a view of the itinerary there for this cruise so that you can see what's coming up in the next episodes and the various ports of call that I'll be visiting. As always, I hope that you found this useful and enjoyable, and it would be really great if you would consider subscribing to the channel so that you will be updated on when the new vlogs come out on each of those ports. And it would be great if you would also consider hitting the like button. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time when I'll be coming to you from Mykonos.